2 months after a car accident left my face disfigured, my husband Jack and his sophisticated sister Olivia got together. When my parents found out, not only did they not blame Jack, they actually urged me to step aside. Even my own daughter looked at me with disgust. I don't want this ugly freak as my mom. I want Aunt Olivia to be my mom, she said. I calmly agreed and chose to leave the Jeong family, cutting ties with them completely. After years of hard work and struggle, I finally achieved financial freedom. Later, I adopted 2 children from an orphanage. Under my careful nurturing, they became a rising tech star and a business tycoon worth billions. Watching them succeed, I decided to indulge myself for once and go on an aimless backpacking trip. Halfway through my journey, Jack showed up with our daughter. Seeing my disheveled appearance from roughing it, their faces were full of mockery. Looks like we were right. After leaving the Jeong family, you're just barely scraping by like a beggar. My parents want to see you now. We'll give you one more chance to come back with us. My daughter Lily also looked at me smugly. You left the Jeong family so decisively back then. Turns out you've just been wandering around homeless this whole time. If I were you, I'd find a block of tofu and smash my head into it. Save everyone the oxygen you're wasting. I paused for a moment, looking at Lily with a complicated expression. I couldn't believe that after all these years, she was still so disrespectful, with no regard for her elders. But I wasn't angry. I just looked at them calmly. Seeing that I wasn't showing the reaction they wanted, the father-daughter pair were taken aback for a moment. After a while, Jack looked at me with disdain. If it weren't for Dad wanting to see you for his 80th birthday, we wouldn't even bother looking at you. But since Dad asked, whether you agree or not, you have to come back with us. Jack's tone was full of determination, just like in the past. I still shook my head. Those are your parents. From the moment I left, I no longer had any parents. Although they raised me, I had already repaid that debt when I left empty-handed, leaving all the assets to them. Seeing that I was still so stubborn, Lily's face became even more contemptuous. You've been reduced to wandering homeless. No need to put on an act in front of us. Looking at her increasingly fierce expression, my heart sank a little. She had always been extremely cunning, even as a child. When she was just 7 or 8 years old, in order to stay with her aunt forever, she deliberately ran into the middle of the road to lure me over. When a speeding car approached, she suddenly dodged to the side. But I, focused only on saving her, was hit and thrown several meters. While I was seriously injured in the hospital, she slandered me, saying I was trying to take her with me to commit suicide, all to help her aunt enter the Jeong family smoothly. Later, when I told Jack about this, he just sneered. She's only 8 years old. How could she have such vicious thoughts? I think you're the truly vicious one, framing your own daughter for your own benefit. What he said wasn't wrong. If I hadn't experienced it myself, I wouldn't have believed an 8-year-old could have such malicious intentions. The flesh and blood I once cherished more than my own life had become the one who hurt me the deepest. Looking at Lily before me now, in my heart I already saw her as a complete stranger. Just as I was lost in thought, Jack and Lily kicked aside the dog Yellow that had accompanied me for years, and roughly dragged me into their car. I struggled desperately, wanting to check on Yellow's condition, but was no match for the two of them. Lily even took out a fruit knife from the car and waved it in front of my face. You ugly freak, you'd better behave. Otherwise I'll disfigure the other side of your face too. Even though I had long decided to cut ties with her, seeing her vicious expression still made my heart ache. No matter what, I was still the mother who gave birth to her and raised her. Yet she treated me like this. I really didn't know what kind of environment the Jeong family was raising Lily in, to make her so utterly disrespectful. Arriving at the Jeong house entrance, I immediately sent a message to my 2 adopted sons, telling them to come pick me up from the Jeong house right away. I didn't want to stay in this place for even a second longer. Just as I sent the message, a familiar figure walked out of the house. Sister, it's been so many years. How did you end up in such a sorry state? You're bringing shame to our whole Lin family. The speaker was my sister, Olivia Lin. Olivia's eyes were still full of disdain for me, and she even tilted her head up slightly as she spoke. She seemed to have forgotten that she only got everything she has now because of my generosity. Olivia Lin, let go of me, and let go of yourself too. I tried to use a calm tone to communicate with Olivia. She had always been strong-willed since childhood, liking to compete with me on everything. For her sake, I had already given up too much. My education, my family, even half my life I had given to her. But she didn't seem to appreciate my good intentions at all. She was still as arrogant as before. Olivia looked at me mockingly. Let go of you? Do you even deserve to say such things in your current state? Know your place. You're no different from a beggar now. From now on, as long as you behave like a good dog in our Jeong house, you can still enjoy some of the Jeong family's glory and wealth. As she spoke, Olivia lightly clapped her hands, having a servant bring an exquisite gift box and place it in front of me. This is the birthday gift I prepared for Dad. It cost over $300,000. I'll let you have a good look today to broaden your horizons. Saying this, Olivia took out a piece of Hitian jade from the box and held it out in front of me. Just as I was about to reach out and take it, Olivia suddenly slapped me hard across the face. Something like this is just for you to look at. Is it something someone of your status can touch? You may not mind the dirt, but I'm worried Dad will find it dirty. I was stunned by her sudden slap. After a long while, I finally held back my tears and looked at her. If you didn't want me to touch it, why did you hold it out in front of me? Olivia chuckled. I just wanted to humiliate you a bit. Is that not allowed? My heart suddenly understood. She simply wanted to humiliate me. Jack, who had been watching this whole scene, showed no intention of stopping it. There was even a hint of mockery in his eyes. Just then, the roar of car engines sounded outside. My parents also arrived at the Jeong house, led by Jack's driver. Olivia and Jack immediately walked over excitedly to help my parents out of the car. Dad, Mom. When they walked up to me, I softly moved my lips and called out to them, but they just glanced at me coldly before walking into the house with Olivia and the others. It seemed they found it beneath them to even say a word to their daughter. I stood there watching their backs as they entered the house, feeling as if my whole being was being torn apart in pain. Grandpa and Grandma are calling you inside. After I don't know how long standing in the cold wind, Lily finally came out and told me in an unfriendly tone. I nodded and followed behind Lily into the house, my face pale. Rose, after all these years, can you still not let go of what happened back then? As soon as we entered the living room, my father sitting on the sofa questioned me sternly. I shook my head, looking at him with incomprehension. Do you think this is something easy to let go of? My mother snorted coldly as she looked at me. Even Even if Olivia hadn't married Jack, do you think you'd still be worthy of him? A woman like you with no education and a ruined face, Jack would probably be laughed at just taking you out for a walk. How did I give birth to such an ungrateful daughter? Hearing my mother's words, I once again felt as if my whole being was being torn apart. During my school years, my grades were not bad. They were even better than Olivia's. Unfortunately, our Lynn family wasn't well off at the time. After their constant persuasion, I had no choice but to give up my studies and start working to support Olivia through school. My father sighed and finally spoke again. Olivia is your younger sister. As the older sister, shouldn't you have yielded to her a bit? It's all in the past now. There's no use dwelling on these things anymore. I just hope you can let go of all grudges and stay by our side to take care of us. Jack's business is growing bigger and bigger now. We can't let the two of them be distracted. Hearing his words, I laughed coldly in my heart. Now I finally knew their purpose in calling me back. The family needed a maid, so they wanted to call back their obedient daughter to be the maid. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and tried hard not to feel too hurt. I can only stay here for one day. I can't stay by your side forever. You think you still have a choice in this matter? Rose-Lynn, let me make this clear to you today. No matter what, you must stay by Mom and Dad's side to take care of them. Jack's tone was full of arrogance, leaving no room for argument. I looked at him in disbelief. Do I not even have the right to choose my own life anymore? Jack snorted coldly. Before I could react, Jack waved his hand. Several of the Jung family's servants rushed over, roughly tied me up, gagged me, and locked me in a guest room nearby. The guests watching this scene had long become used to it. They all knew that Jack had abandoned a previous wife before, and I knew without thinking that I was that previous wife Jack had abandoned. My facial features were just too distinctive. Rose-Lynn, I think you have far too many issues now. Today I'll have someone help correct this nasty habit of yours first. Jack said these final words to me before directly locking the door. Inside the room, several servants holding clubs were eyeing me menacingly. Before I could react, those servants had already started beating me viciously with their clubs. The intense pain made me curl up my body and struggle constantly. Soon, my whole body was covered in blood. At this moment, two men appeared at the door of the car and shouted at the same time, "Mom, we are here to pick you up."